We're here to bring real solutions to real problems affecting real people today. With your support, you can join us in becoming part of the solution and a part of this movement.
Okay, we are picking some produce for dinner tonight. I've got a nice little chunk of lamb, it's just right size for one person. And I want some garlic and onion. Let's see if we can just pull one of these onions. Oh yeah. More of a leak. Maybe we should get a second. What do you think? Let's get a second. Oh, should be really good. All right. See, that's the flour. They'll drop a bunch of seed, maybe a bunch more next year. We've got our onions. Let's go get some spring garlic. You can see the hosta has grown back. We harvested that. Very delicious, by the way. If I had the time, I'm leaving this week, I would pick a bunch of these leaves and blanch them, because you can stuff them like grape leaves. And this is our garlic, well, my garlic, I suppose. Although it's all a family operation here. There. Now see, that's interesting. It hasn't really started to form a head yet. Garlic won't form a head until after the flower comes out and you cut it off. In fact, if you don't cut the flower off, it won't form a head that won't close. You see, practically the same thing, except this tastes like garlic. And in this form, the whole plant of the garlic is usable. We're going to eat those greens too. Yeah, that's fine. And maybe a different variety. Every pet's a different variety of garlic. When I'm pulling spring garlic, I like to make sure I'm thinning out where it got a little overcrowded. And that's what we're going to do right here. See, that one's not going to be as big anyhow. Right, we'll wash these up. And later I will chop them up, go with a piece of lamb that I have thawing. We'll cook it. Maybe I'll throw in a potato just because I can. Everybody likes potatoes. Don't eat too many potatoes, it's bad for you. This is the compost barrel. All the waste from these will go in there. All of our kitchen waste that is plant-based goes in the compost barrel. We have a separate compost for yard waste. When I'm done washing these, I can sit until I'm ready to cut them up. easiest way to clean them up. Pull off that outer leaf. There we go. Yeah. There's one. Perfectly clean. These two. These are green onions. You can call them Egyptian or walking onions. This is kind of more of an edible version of those, but they're similar. Pretty much don't go away. Good luck getting rid of them once you plant them. You can contain them, and they will continue to reproduce. You see how that's splitting? That's a whole new onion right there. That was going to become the next generation. Better than starter, folks. Better than starter. Oh, look at that. Hey. The easiest way to peel or to clean these is to peel that outer layer. Don't lose too much, and you don't risk getting any brown or undesirable in there. This is garlic in the outer layer, right? Onion. Both structures very similar. Italians tend to be antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. Nobody told us that in 2020. Hiring you. The more of them you eat, the less likely you are to get sick. Good for your immune system. I might have to, right? Onions just snap off at the fruit. That's okay. I'll come back. Better than the onion too, apparently. Okay, again, peel that leaf. You don't have to mess. Try and clean off all the mud like that. Yep, I'm just gonna quick turn a knife on these. This is the lamb that I have thawing. It's a chunk of rack of lamb, but it's the chunk that has no rib bones, so it'll be extra special. Comes from lower down in the spine. Alright. Nice and easy. That's that. That's that. And I'll probably throw a potato in with those when I cook them. We'll have a nice meal later. But we'll be back to see that in a bit. Okay. We're gonna do the next step of prep work. Got our green onions. Alright. See if I can do this without killing myself on. We have a potato. Green onions, garlic, potato. And our lamb, which is thawing. Push it down that way. Push it down that way. Get my bone out of the way. Alright. Put the potato in there until I'm ready to cut it. Yeah. With these green onions, you don't eat the flower leaf. And we've got the other leaf off of that, so we'll use that, but we can use the bulb. Okay? The flower leaf, this stalk tends to be a little tough, rigid, chilly. Don't like that. No. That one's set to go. That one's set to go. Alright. I like to pull the very ends off the green onion leaves because they can be a little tough. Okay. Alright. Double check, make sure there's no dirt on here. Oh, as my great grandmother would say, everybody eats a pound of dirt before they die. That's because it's on your food. Alright, we're just going to do some nice, simple, thick, right, all the way across. I might not use all of these leaves. I might have too much altogether, but I want to make sure that I have plenty of white parts of the garlic, the onion, because these do come up from the ground, sometimes little bits of dirt between the leaves, and you don't see that till you start cutting. So I will make sure I pick through this before I actually cook it. But you know, then again, cooked dirt can't kill you. This is farm food, people. Farm food. Sometimes you come across some tough bits of meat, just get rid of those. Right. Some of these greens are onions, some of these are garlic. It all eats. And it's all delicious. You notice how I'm not really too worried about making everything precise. This is all gonna melt down and become its own amalgamation. You won't be able to tell that it's too different. Now, if I were using these raw in a salad of some kind, absolutely make them a bit more even, pay a little more attention to my cutting. Make sure we get the scraps tucked out of the way. Right. Okay. I am prepping ahead. I like to be prepared to do things in steps, a little bit at a time sometimes. Helps me keep my organization. It helps me do multiple things at once sometimes. You know, what do you do with 5 minutes when you have it here or there? Well, you can cut up your green onions and garlic for your dinner. Woo! This onion is making my eye water. Both of them even. Eyes. I have to. You see how that's not cutting well and it's frying? It's because it's tough. The plant tells you what not to eat. It's all done. And that can just sit right there until we're ready to add that to the pan. I don't know if you can see. Yep, this is the pan. So the first thing I'll do is I will sear the lamb on hot, like very hot. And just as I turn it down, I will add the potato so it gets a burst of heat. Okay. I will pretty much just snack until I'm eating this meal. So these are my vegetables for the day. I don't count trail mix, although I do count trail mix. Those are also vegetables. Right. So, boom, boom. Potatoes, you kind of always want to cut them as evenly as you can if you're gonna pan fry them like this. Fry, simmer, I don't know. It's gonna be delicious. There we go. This is definitely simple cooking, folks. Right, now that potato will turn brown if I just leave it like that. Here's something I can do. Okay. Make sure it's all separated a little. There we go. Salt. Well, that was a terrible trick on me, but that's okay. It's not too much salt because we're going to fill this with water. Cold water and salt. Potato will stay a potato and not become brown or black. Which, to be honest, even if it did turn brown, that would be perfectly edible. Alright. Now I'm going to clean up, and then it's just a matter of waiting until it's time to cook. Okay, it is time to cook the dinner we prepped. I'm of the opinion that an awful lot of good food starts with a good cast iron pan. That is what I like to cook with. And since we want a good sear on this chunk of lamb, we want a good high heat oil. I like organic avocado oil. Go high smoke point. We're going to go ahead with medium high on this induction cooktop, which is about 375 degrees, but I can actually dial this in down to the 5-degree mark. So while that's happening, we're going to go drain our potatoes. Actually, since I want to salt the meat anyhow, we might as well drain that salty water right over the meat. That heats up quickly. I'm going to put a pause on there. Doesn't get quite too hot. So this is a chunk of rack of lamb from a half a lamb that I got at the farmer's market for about $3 a pound. It's a really good price. It has a chunk of loin on it. It has that nice rib flap. Where is it? There it is. Try to uncurl it. Look at that. Tape. That's nice and tasty. All right. Technically, we could eat that lamb raw. If your meat has been in the freezer and vacuum sealed for 3 weeks or more, it is free of parasites, bacteria, and even viruses. Okay. I'll make sure that. Spilled the salt in there earlier, and there's some rice in our salt shakers to keep it from caking. Gotta have to pick that rice up, which is okay. It's okay. We're gonna go pick some fresh herbs. Oh, I'm getting pinged by a bunch of volunteers and staff of the organization, but so we're gonna pick a little sage. And we're gonna pick rosemary. And we'll come down here to the greener ends with some thyme. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Rosemary, sage, and thyme. Somebody sang about it. Peanuts off the playbook. Alright. I thought I'd turn that back up. A few minutes. That's right. I didn't wash the herbs. Came out of our own planter. And now there's no pesticides, processing agents, and any of those other additives they do to make things last longer on a truck or a shelf. But I'm very comfortable just eating my own produce. Hear that oil pumping? It's almost time. It's almost time. Oh, be patient now, oil. For most herbs, scissors make quick work of it. Thyme is actually easier to do with your fingers. The leaves just strip right off. Right? You don't really want the stems because they're chewy. Feel weird. It's incompatible, non-compatible texture. And now that I can really smell that up, it is time to get the meat. You might watch me get an oil burn. Alright. There we go. Well, that gets us here. Time. I hope you can hear me over the oil popping. Alright. This is the very end of the rack that doesn't have a rib bone. That's why it looks funny. So that's the spine, that's the loin, inner and outer, rib meat. The top. Remember folks, oil is hot when you're cooking. It burns. Be careful. Just a little time. So if you remember, it's green onions and spring garlic, there's sage, rosemary, and thyme. Doesn't really take long to sear this. Okay, so almost. Pop. Okay, let's see here. Could stand some more going. Let's do that. Take the rice out of this. It might be easier to take the potatoes out. We saw earlier the old salt tank happened to me. Somebody left the salt with the lid on loose. Probably not intentionally, but you never know around here. Time to go look at that again. My spidey senses say so. Oh yeah, look at that. You see how it squeezes itself together? The proteins in the meat shrinking under the heat. That's what I wanted right there. See that? That's all good. fat and sinew that crisps up. A lot of people would say it's not edible. I say if you cook it right, it's delicious. Okay. Oh, you shit that fell out. Don't want to eat that. Okay. We're just going to set this lamb back over this bowl to rest. Alright. Close those. Put the potato in the pan. I am a big fan of one-pan meals. Turn your heat up to 425. Get these potatoes seared. Then we'll turn it down and add the vegetables. The vegetables. I'm a garden kid. I grew up that way. Best lunch is a fresh, sun-warmed cucumber and tomato. Take it and eat it in the garden. Wipe it off with your shirt. Starting to get all golden on there already. Look at that. Patience in cooking. Try to start cooking before you're too hungry. I make that mistake a lot. I don't like to stop working or doing what I'm doing. So I often wait too long to eat. Check out the sizzle of my potato. Yeah. nice and golden brown. What we're going to do is we're going to toss this in, then we're going to turn the temperature down. We're going to bring the meat back, put the cover on, and we're going to stay away for a while. Get that tossed around in the oil. Make sure everything has a nice toast. Turn that down to 275. Put that lamb right on top. Try not to knock everything over in the process. Put the lid on as best as the lid will go on. And we'll come back in a little bit and plate. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Oh, it looks like it's done. We'll leave the pan lid here. We'll clean it up later. Turn that off. Put our serving utensils in the pan of food. Cast iron's not light, folks, especially when it's full of food. Okay. First we get this meat out. Right in there. Okay. A little more color on the very bottom than I'd like, but it's not going to be bad. Look at that pile of vegetables. Gotta have a pile of vegetables. I probably should have gotten a bigger plate. I know there are people out there that say vegetables are bad for you, and for some people they are. But you definitely feel better on a more carnivorous diet, but I still need my vegetables. I might save the rest of these vegetables to go with some eggs in the morning. Alright, now I'm going to eat it. I'm going to take some pretty pictures to throw into the end of this video.